Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi. And today we're going to be talking about something that we postulated several months ago.
Yeah, definitely not weeks. Maybe even like more than a year.
Probably, yeah.
Wait, what exactly postulating, meaning like the soul aspect of it? Or just, I mean, we've talked about the topic of identity.
Yeah.
On-chain identity, to be more specific, as being like a critical component to the future, right, of this space.
The reason why I remember this vividly is because we called it soul.
Well, yeah, you were. I don't know if you have to explain to me
why
the origins
soul?
of that.
Yeah,
I get why Vitalik called it Soulbound. It's literally like a term World of Warcraft used to designate. Yeah, they have different assets in the game.
Oh, okay.
And we all know the inspiration behind Ethereum was his experience playing World of Warcraft. So here he is again, extracting from his previous life of a WoW gamer, like some other like core concept, right? Yeah. And it's the aspect of soul-bound items and non-soul-bound items. So it's like, you know, if you pick up something in the game that's not soul-bound to you, it means it's tradable. You can exchange it on the open market of the game.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, if it's bound to your character, it means it's locked.
Yeah.
Only your character can possess this object or asset, whatever it is, and utilize it, right? Yeah. And it becomes part of that character's soul, right? The only way to transfer it to someone else is if you literally sell your soul to somebody else, like AKA account.
Yeah.
And if they catch you doing that, dude, banned for life.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, so it is interesting, but yeah, how did you come about the what's the word?
The essence.
Or like
why soul?
Why do you feel like the blockchain world needs souls? You know?
Well, I felt like, I mean, in the same way that Vitalik described Soulbound, I felt like there's inherent value on like the activities that we participate in that shouldn't be tradable.
Yeah, and
then all of this should be tracked. So in the past, I would say months ago, I'm going to try to find the video and maybe I'll post it here. But we talked about how important it is for the DeFi space to leverage non-collateralized loans.
That's true. That's probably where the conversations arose. Yeah. Because, we're talking about DeFi all the time in the past. And like, most of the mechanics of lending, I guess, are for like over-collateralization of assets in order to extract some kind of loan amount.
Yeah.
Which is, not the typical borrowing experience that's common to men.
That's
right. So
yeah, imagine you needed a car, but you need to have like double the amount of the car,
like 2 cars,
in order to get a loan.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really make sense. And so we thought it made sense for people to, when they interact in the blockchain space, Web3 projects, that interaction gets logged in some human readable format.
Yeah.
That way people can check an ETH address and, this guy participates in, these ecosystems and he's, like a established community member in all these locations. He's not just some scammer that just, is trying to, fleece, a project.
That, and also the reason why I thought this is very important for the future of the space, just because of how prevalent like the Anon movement has become. Especially during PFP Mania, like the majority of those project founders were anonymous.
Yeah, right.
They just had like...
Oh, that's another point, yeah.
Yeah, they had character figures as their representation of them and literally no other background details. They might say, hey, we had X experience working at X company, right? But there's no way to really verify that.
Yeah, of course.
They're not going to link to LinkedIn because that's doxing them. They're no longer Anon if they link to LinkedIn. So the point is, I was like, okay, we had these debates all the time. Is the future of blockchain anonymous or not? And we're kind of split.
We're kind of split, but I sort of lean on to your opinion is that if we had some sort of way to track people's on-chain activity, we don't need to know who they are exactly. Just are they a trustable person?
Yeah, well, you just go off of the merit, right? The merit of their contributions from their past, as long as it's all logged and,
You know what? I remember this conversation because I was thinking, it's like, if Satoshi were to start another project, everybody go all in, right?
Yeah.
And we don't need to know who Satoshi is as long as his on-chain activity is like, this is actually him and this is actually his new project.
Yep.
So him or they, let's put it that way.
Yeah, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference, like whether, your physical identity, of course, but in the existing landscape of blockchain, it does matter a lot, just because of the people are utilizing this anon movement as a scam tactic,
Mhm.
and we saw it the whole market,
Yeah.
like the last couple of years, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I mean,
yeah.
imagine if Elon Musk started a blockchain, everybody would go all in.
Yeah, but
And-
that's yeah.
but the point is that Elon has a history. Everybody knows who he is. They know what he's done, and so therefore he starts a project. You know, if you can go in, you will.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to recreate with this idea of a soul. In the case of Vitalik, it's called Soulbound.
Yeah.
And what it is essentially it's a protocol that allows people to interact with this protocol in a way where they get rewarded with some sort of token, an NFT that's non-transferable.
Well, I guess the protocols don't exist yet. Like this is such a fresh.
Oh, is it? So
it's like a fresh concept. Like it literally, if you're looking at the screen, this is the paper Vitalik published. I mean, a month ago or so.
yeah.
And like now it's like a hot topic of debate and discussion, right? Everyone's like figuring out what do we do with this Vitalik's, he just vomited like a whole new perspective on the whole space. Right now people have to like think about it, digest it, just like we're doing, and postulate how to use it potentially. And build these protocols, potential standards of the future where, projects like ourselves can leverage it, right? Like we would love to use something like this to commemorate core, because we've been a project building for several years, right? And we've had community members who've been here with us along the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no way to, I guess, you
recognize that
independent of just, I don't know, giving them like NFTs or something like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really say much.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, all it is it's a growing like a perception of value, AKA your wallet balance.
Yeah. Especially if those NFTs are transferable. Like, for example, if,
that's true, yeah.
Hey, community member, you've been with us for 3 years. Here's an NFT.
Yeah, like who's to say it's somebody who wasn't with us for 3 years but bought it from somebody else who was? It's like
exactly.
It kills the integrity of the entire sentiment, right?
That's right.
So yeah, if something is literally locked to you, and it's allocated to you based off of the merit or your contribution, that's stuck with your identity, your on-chain identity forever. And then because of that, it establishes like a lot of different,
wouldn't this be like the ultimate flex?
Of course.
Like the ultimate, because
whenever you graduate from Harvard, what do you do with that?
Yeah, you tell everybody about it.
Yeah, you walk around with like a Harvard hoodie for the next 20 years. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I fucking killed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and then the flex, you get in because you have that forever accolade.
Yeah.
Once you go talk to employers or whatever the fuck, they're knocking on your door to get you to work for them, stuff like that, right? Like this is the real world notoriety that achieving things unlocks, right?
Because you actually had to be there. I mean, that's the whole point of the Soulbound token. So this reminds me a lot of Popes.
Yeah, Popes is like the first, I think, what's the word? Like it's one of the first movers in this space of non-financial applications of the blockchain.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Right?
To a certain degree, because now it is sort of a financial gain to a certain extent. People are selling Popes.
Are they?
They are. But it's...
So that's just one of the problems lucrative. I think ideally POAPs they should be soulbound. Because the whole idea of it is to...
It's the fact that you're proving that you were there.
Yeah, so if you just sell all that activity to somebody else, it's again, it kills the integrity.
Dude, you know what?
I mean?
What? Popes are going to use this protocol.
Most likely they're going to swap to it.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, because
it's too...
You can't farm this in this case unless you're switching ETH addresses and then...
Yeah,
that's like a civil attack.
Yeah. Yeah, so this isn't 100% crisp in the sense there's not going to be any downsides to this, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There can be tons of downsides, and I think that needs to be where the majority of the discussion is, because clearly this is a good idea. I think it's definitely going to be a very powerful component to everyone's on-chain experience, and it's going to be ubiquitous, right? At some point.
Yeah, it's what if to get a loan you need to be in the crypto space for 5 years or something, and then all of a sudden you can get uncollateralized loans.
Yeah. And the same rules apply in the real world whenever you're trying to build a credit score, right? That's one of the factors.
Exactly.
It's if you've only been establishing some sort of record of borrowing for a year or two,
right?
they're not going to give you one of those ACE scores, so you're not going to go walk in anywhere and
Yeah.
get like a hot mortgage, right? Like,
Yeah.
You need to at least have a decade or plus of like activity as
Right.
a human, right? A recordable human to get like these good rates. So, yeah, from the on-chain perspective, it was, you know, kind of unclear how we were going to determine these things, right? But with this stuff, I mean,
Yeah,
we're almost there.
And so there's a couple of use cases that people are talking about, and it's your university degree, your driver's license, and a credit score. These seem to make a lot of sense. Obviously, there's a lot of and that's sort of the purpose of this protocol, is that if you're a project and you can leverage something like this and you can use it for your own purposes, right?
Yeah.
But the degree, licenses, and credit scores seem to make like obvious sense, low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I think
it's gonna be a big contributor to the like decentralized workspace, you know, because
yeah.
I mean, DAOs are complicated, and we're not even anywhere close to the point where we can like 100% rely on like a decentralized autonomous organization to construct things or like build things, just because it's too unreliable. But this is going to help in the sense, like if you contribute to the project's development in any way, like now we could start to recognize that through these soulbound tokens. And, you know, that's going to be basically become your on-chain resume, right? Like every little protocol that you contributed to, whatever the fuck you programmed in the past, you know, it's logged, right? Like it's been recognized by the foundation entity that's issuing these soulbound, you know, NFTs. So that's a big deal. You know, now all of a sudden we have like an actual labor market, right?
Yeah,
a decentralized one.
There's an interesting kind of twist to this. This is made revocable by the issuer, and so if you do get a Harvard degree and then you become like a murderer or something, then you could just get it revoked, and all of a sudden you're just not part of the Harvard community anymore.
Do they do that in the real world?
Probably not, just because there's no system for this.
Let me think.
Can people retract?
You can retract rewards and stuff like that. Like I think, remember when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock?
Yeah,
everyone was talking about like, dude, you need the Academy or whatever needs to like retract all of his rewards from forever and like ban him from Hollywood. You're extinguished.
Yeah,
type stuff. So that implies they have that power, right? But
yeah, and there was I want to say a couple of NBA players who got their something got revoked from them.
Maybe like a
Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame status, things like that.
That's the worst thing that can get revoked, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, like, I mean, it can happen. So
I mean, it provides a mechanism to retract when somebody's like, you know, misbehaving for whatever reason. And
True.
It seems like a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. It keeps a burden on the individual person.
Yeah, that too. But so there's gonna have to be fail safes too. You brought up like a good potential downside risk of like what happens if somebody loses their private keys, right, to their own soul.
Yeah.
Like if there you go, inspired by WoW, dude.
That's unbelievable.
Dude, I've been telling you, man. WoW is like, again, we're in 100 or 1,000 years from now, we're gonna look back at World of Warcraft. There's gonna be so much innovation, like inspired by WoW.
Yeah.
You know, because like WoW, World of Warcraft was literally like a transition moment where like people. Well, it's not just WoW. There's other MMOs in existence, but WoW really killed it in this regard, where they took the human away from the physical and like put us in a virtual environment and like, you know, really, like, I don't know, did something to our minds. We're like, you know what? Fuck this physical existence, dude. Like the virtual is way more enjoyable. I'd rather prioritize it like that.
Yeah.
I think that's some sort of like singularity moment, right? Like that's the metaverse moment, right? Like the WoW is kind of cracking that eggshell for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the one example here is you kill the dragon and no one else, and that's infinitely important. Typically, like before Soulbound, you would think that you just receive an NFT, but somebody can just buy it off of you, and then it kind of defeats the purpose.
Exactly. Yeah, now if you have that dragon's head in your like profile, and like only you can possess it. What's gonna happen when you're trying to get into like the next guild?
Yeah, this is like you're gonna usher you in.
Dude.
Yeah.
If anything, everyone's gonna start worshiping you like you're a god.
Yeah.
And those things they happen in WoW. You know, it's amazing. But WoW is nothing what it used to be.
So yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, man, is WoW still as like a mainstay today?
Oh hell no, I don't think so. I mean, there's still people playing it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still amazing for a game to have that kind of longevity.
Yeah.
Still going, still charging $15 a month. I think maybe they upped the rates. I don't know, just for inflation. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they're still going.
All right, so use cases of Soulbound tokens. So worked as X for 3 years, that's a token. Repaid a loan, that's another token. Completed course, another token. Soul A wallet. And then member of Y community, okay, you get a token. Right to vote in DAO, token. Attended an event, Soul B wallet.
So what is this like implying? Oh, here we go.
You see an example of the sort of tokens that go into a soul. It also makes clear that the person can have more souls.
Yeah,
after all,
there's
they are
wallets.
wallets. Okay, yeah. The top use cases listed by the author of the white paper are establishing provenance, origin, unlocking under collateralized lending markets through reputation.
Yeah, huge. So these are like the most obvious, I guess, use cases, but I think this whole concept is going to like trickle to the masses at some point, like where
For sure.
and then this is like where it gets a potential bad rap. Like people start comparing it to like the whole social credit system that China has like activated,
or Black Mirror, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's definitely like a neighboring principle to that, like our concept. Like it's very, especially if it trickles down like to the masses, where anybody can issue a soulbound token, like I don't know, maybe there's a protocol in the future where you have to like do something to accrue like a balance of issuable soulbound tokens. So like if you're out in your day-to-day life, somebody does something nice, you can just give them like a real life star or thumbs up soulbound token.
Yeah.
That way, over like someone's lifespan, they're accruing like people giving them thumbs up.
Yeah.
And like somehow that becomes a part of your lifelong reputation, right?
Yeah.
I could definitely see that happening. And then, man, like
imagine if you could give people thumbs down, though.
Oh, you should be able to. Yeah.
You think so? Like, I feel like that's...
Yeah, it could be abused.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff could be abused, I guess, potentiality. But
yeah, and there has to be some system of a cost, because then you get spammed, all kinds of stuff.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of wrinkles in this whole thing, but nonetheless, it's very interesting. And yeah, it's a massive need for the overall sector.
Yeah.
Like a decentralized universe where like nobody truly knows who the next person is, and everything's like done through the metaverse. You know what I mean? We're all just these digital avatars. Like we got to know stuff about each other.
For sure. Yeah. 100%. 100%. I wonder, when in the past we were talking about DeFi, a lot of our discussions were revolving around the ability to make income, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's financial gain. I wonder if someone's going to spin this into financial gain somehow.
What do you think, dude? Of course they are.
But I mean, they're going to be selling private keys then.
I mean,
how else would you do it?
I don't know. I'm just jumping on the obvious like human behavioral trait of like, yeah, we're gonna find a way to exploit this for financial gain. Of course we are.
Well, think about what this means though, because let's say you are farming soul tokens through whatever means, and you sell the private key. Well, these items are non-transferable. So if I sell you the private key, I also have the private key. So I don't know. That's why I'm questioning. Is like, maybe this is a sector that's not going to be financially focused.
I mean, and that's kind of the intended goal, right? That's why Vitalik is like so hard on this subject, because not hard in a negative way, like literally, like he's erect. Yeah, he's very happy, right?
Yeah.
And Vitalik, he's an idealistic guy. He has his own vision for the future and stuff, and I mean, he's an obvious genius, and he's propelling humanity forward with his innovative thoughts. So, and yeah, I've been keeping up with his Twitter logs and stuff, and he very much hates the reality that humanity's greed has kind of like co-opted the network, in a sense. So this is the kind of stuff he's really looking forward to, and it has really good application for governance, dude. Governance is broken. Decentralized governance, just token governance is not good enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Yeah,
it's way too susceptible to collusion or just bad actors. What's it called, like a plutocracy or something like that. It's not
the whales make the votes, and then it's just done
completely. And we've experienced that in the past. We know that's normally what happens. So it's not the final form of a decentralized governance model. So we need more metrics to determine people's, contribution and weight and like value within an ecosystem. So this is perfect, right? It's right down that alley. So that's why it's so exciting, man. Like, and it's not even like getting started. Like right now, it's just an idea that's floating around.
It's a paper.
Yeah, it's the paper. But imagine like we just saw Satoshi write the Bitcoin paper, and like they haven't even made the fucking
the network
the thing yet.
Yeah.
Nobody's like started mining it. Like that's where we're at with this. But it's gonna be, here we are in the depths of, well, not depths, but like we're pretty much in a bear.
Yeah, it's a free fall right now.
Yeah, we're in like the darkest moments of the bear market. Everybody's like,
it's like questioning themselves, like
questioning their sanity. Is like, dude, I can't believe I didn't sell, like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And now the discussions become like, okay, how are we going to get ourselves out of this trench?
Right.
What's the next step? Like the next movement, right? What's the next DeFi, the next metaverse? It's going to be stuff like this.
Yeah, this is more like foundational aspects of what we're going to be building things on top of.
Exactly. It's a primitive, just like DeFi is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to get smart people who are going to build protocols to leverage this whole thing and like create new, just a whole new thing from it. And then
new value, right? Yeah. This is new value that's going to be created.
Exactly. And then, of course, they're going to, get VCs involved. And that's going to be the next wave, right? And then everyone's going to start speculating on who's going to be the best provisioner of these soulbound
think about it. We're going a little bit over, but imagine if every Web3 company has to implement the soulbound protocol when they hire people. You issue these tokens. It's like, this is how you create like a Web3 ecosystem.
Exactly. Yeah, labor economy. Yeah. Everything, dude. It's going to be associated to everyone's existence on chain. So, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of building to do in order for that to
I guess the issue is there's multiple networks, right? It's not only Ethereum, right? So there's going to be a Binance Soul and then a Soul.
It's true.
It's like, it's going to get weird.
Yeah, I mean,
it's already weird.
Yeah, it's already weird, but yeah, it's going to be resolved at some point or another.
All right, guys, that's been the Soulbound token by good old Vitalik. If you like this conversation, make sure you leave a like, comment, and let us know what you think about the Soulbound token. And follow us on Twitter at the Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and Rovi AI. And we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.